KCCI 8 News starts with breaking news.
He's had an amazing run as our football coach.
You mentioned...
And didn't get to do it in front of his family and friends. You know, and he had other times he could have left. And he chose not to. You know, Matt Campbell owes Iowa State nothing because he did more than we could have ever dreamed he would do as our head coach.
You can see it was an emotional day at Iowa State University. The school's athletic director, Jamie Pollard, getting choked up, talking about head football coach Matt Campbell's decision to leave for Penn State. We've been tracking these developments all day long. We have team coverage tonight. KCCI's Abigail Curtin will join us live from Ames. But first, we start with Shannon Earhart here in the studio with more details on Campbell's departure and Shannon, the man already hired to replace him.
Yeah, Ben, it is official. Coach Matt Campbell is the new head coach at Penn State. The deal was finalized around 6:30 this evening. In less than an hour, Iowa State announced that they had hired a new head coach, Jimmy Rogers, out of Washington State. We'll have more on him in just a moment. But per Jamie Pollard, Campbell's decision to leave was completely personal. Per ESPN's Pete Thamel, Penn State flew to Ames last night, met Campbell at his house, and then they started working towards this deal. Tonight, Thamel reported that Penn State and Campbell agreed on an 8-year deal. Iowa State Athletic Director Jamie Pollard shared the conversation he had with Campbell about this process.
Iowa State University needs to put a statue up of Matt Campbell at some point in time in the future because he did more for Iowa State football than anybody ever has. And although I'm disappointed that he's leaving, it's not my right to decide what is right for Matt Campbell and his family at this point in time. That's a very personal decision for him, and gave him the space to make the decision that he felt was the right decision for him. But at the same time, when Matt and I talked about it, I just said, Matt, I've got to run a parallel process because I've got a responsibility to the young men in that room and to our fan base and to Iowa State University. And so, we obviously moved very quickly.
Abigail is live in Ames, just outside of Jack Trice Stadium, where fans and players didn't realize he had coached his last game as a Cyclone. Abigail, AD Jamie Pollard said Campbell was wrestling with this decision. What can you tell us?
Well, a lot of fans are asking the same question right now, which is why? Why would Matt Campbell leave a program that he helped transform over the last decade? Well, after speaking with Jamie Pollard, we learned it wasn't money, it wasn't status, but it was family that motivated this decision. Now take a look at some of this video. This is video of Campbell hugging one of his players earlier this evening. Now, as for why he's leaving, Campbell's oldest daughter will be attending college on the East Coast next year. And athletic director Pollard says his mother and his wife's mother are currently ill and that this was an entirely personal decision on a family level. And he hopes Penn State is able to treasure Campbell's talents.
What made him successful at Iowa State is we let him be Matt Campbell. And I hope if anybody from Penn State's listening, let the man be Matt Campbell and you will not regret that you hired him. But if you mess with him, you won't have the success.
Now, as quickly as Campbell made his exit, ISU has already found his replacement, right, Shannon?
Abigail, great work out there. Just minutes after a reported meeting between players and coaches, Iowa State announced its new head coach. Their new guy is 38-year-old Washington State head coach Jimmy Rogers. AD Jamie Pollard actually said he's known Rogers for several years. We'll get into that more in sports, but Jimmy Rogers and Cyclone men's basketball coach TJ Otzelberger crossed paths when they were both at South Dakota State. AD Jamie Pollard told us he turned to Otzelberger for advice.
One of the first people I called this morning when I was making the decision was TJ Otzelberger, because TJ knows him and worked with him. And TJ had no idea that I had been doing all this. And I just flat out asked TJ, okay, tell me. And he said, if he will come, take him.
Yeah, I mean, that's powerful words there from
Yeah.
Jamie Pollard. He did say that he wants Rodgers and his staff to get out to Ames tomorrow night, barring the weather. But then he also wants the coach to meet with the players Sunday night. And then hopefully, if all that timing works out, there's a press conference Monday morning, which we will be at.
It is absolutely amazing how quickly all of this happened.
Oh, yeah.
Within a couple of hours, right? And then the transparency, too, from Pollard so quickly after Campbell left, the decision to hire the new coach, just to fill us in on that process has been pretty interesting to see. You have more information about what's going to happen in Penn State at the beginning of the week.
I do want to mention, too, that Pollard had also said that, yes, this has moved so quickly, but we didn't really give the players time to mourn because it was less than an hour when they found out on social media about all this information. He said maybe it's a good thing that they didn't have too much time to be upset and be uncertain because there was that new head coach on the horizon in Jimmy Rodgers. But going back to what you said about Penn State, their AD, Pat Kraft, says that they are welcoming Campbell and his family on Monday, pending the approval of the Board of Trustees, of course. He also says that Campbell is without a doubt the right leader at Penn State for football at this time, which we aren't surprised about, right?
All right, well, yeah, I mean, gosh, a statue, you know, as they said, he leaves
Right.
Iowa State. It sounds like on pretty good terms. Thank you for that insight. We know you'll have more for us coming up in Sports Channel.